Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about it's rude and inconsiderate not to tip. DoorDash driver receives no tip on large Albertsons grocery order. So as we all know, DoorDash drivers and DoorDash customers have been in a heated battle whether or not they should be tipping their drivers. And in this case, this DoorDash driver accepted a no tip offer. Usually the answer to this is simple, just don't accept the order. But I want to understand from his side why he wanted to accept this order. So with that said, I want to go over what this person is saying, how it actually is, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. A DoorDash driver well known on TikTok for sharing aspects of his job has sparked a renewed debate about tipping delivery drivers. The creator, the Gigdoctor at Gigdoctor, says he received no tip on a large Albertsons grocery order. He claims the incident was a perfect example of why DoorDash drivers must be picky and choosy about what orders they accept. I'll leave his TikTok as well as his profile in the description so you can develop your own opinions on the subject. Gigdoctor has actually gone viral for no tip, no trip messages before, so I'm actually curious on why he even accepted this order. Was it for the content? Was he trying to prove a point? Like, was the base pay just that high? I don't know. In the video, at Gigdoctor shows the trunk of his car full of groceries. He explains that he had to drive 7 minutes to Albertsons, wait 15 minutes at the store before the order was ready, drive another 15 minutes to the customer's house, and take another 5 to 10 minutes to unload the order. He said he was only paid $9. Okay, so 7 minutes to get to Albertsons, 15 and 15, that makes 37 minutes. Let's say we're overestimating here and he took 10 minutes to unload the car. So that's 47 minutes for $9. That's ridiculous. That's not even accounting for the amount of miles there are involved in this order. For argument's sake, let's say it was 8 miles and it just barely fits to the $1 to $1 to mile ratio. Even still, that's a lot of time to spend on an order for $9. I totally understand the frustration of this order was just not worth it. That's just a quick idea of why it's important to be picky and choosy, the TikToker says in his video. Yeah, so far it seems like he was trying to prove a point, which, by the way, point's been proven across the board. The TikTok video garnered mixed reactions among Gigdoctor's viewers. Some users questioned how customers can morally decide not to tip, while others shared that they tip well out of gratitude for the delivery drivers. Well, that's always positive to see, because I feel like there's a lot of people that would genuinely hear there are people that do not tip their drivers and think, what kind of terrible human being are you? So it's always good to see when those people chime in. I don't understand people who don't tip at all, one user commented. In reply to that comment, the Gigdoctor wrote, yep, in a country where it's customary to tip service workers, it's rude and inconsiderate not to tip. And that's a freaking fact. I love how people complain about tipping culture and how it's such a big deal. Meanwhile, they're just not tipping service workers at all and thinking that's perfectly okay. Honestly, this is why I don't want to convince people to start tipping, because I don't want to help those people. Those people are the people that always think the worst of the world, who would rather complain about how things are than rather do something about it. Like, their overall demeanor is resting B face and is more jaded on the world than I am, which is saying a lot. Why would I want to help somebody like that when I could help somebody who genuinely wants to do the right thing by us? Like, seriously. I ordered a slice of cake and a 6-pack of brownies from Safeway and tipped $6 because I knew I was being lazy beyond acceptable and wanted the brownie. One viewer wrote about their tipping habit. And that's what you should be doing. If you are ordering a small meal, you gotta understand, you gotta make it worth it for us because, well, if I'm seeing a $5 order, a $4 order, I'm probably gonna decline it. But if I see an $8.50 order, I might actually do it depending on the dollars to miles. I tip at least 20% because I'm so thankful someone else made the trip to make my life easier, a second share. Honestly, can we just have these people on these platforms? Seriously, that would be amazing. A third claimed, I always tip ridiculous because I'm paying for the convenience of not getting out of my PJs. Thank you for all you do. You see, this person's not just grateful, they understand what they're paying for. They're not just paying for the product in which they're buying. They're paying for the convenience of having it delivered to them. However, some viewers said DoorDash drivers like Gigdoctor should be more upset at companies who don't pay a living wage than customers who don't tip. You think that we don't? Every single time we have this conversation and this point gets brought up, every single time we bring up, hey, we're just as upset with the companies that we work for as much as we are the customers, if not more. They're shady, they're manipulative, they play stupid games with us, and quite honestly, everyone's tired of it. But that doesn't change the concept that we gotta pay our bills. So if one side isn't gonna change, we gotta do what we gotta do on our end. At the end of the day, these delivery companies need to pay drivers an hourly or a base salary. I think that would help, one user suggested. Actually, no, because realistically speaking, we're not employees. We're independent contractors. So if they're gonna change anything, they gotta change the base value of each order. Another user commented, ask the real questions. Why does the company worth millions pay an employee such an unlivable wage? Gee, I don't know. Why does your company pay you such an unlivable wage? Seriously, let's really think about this. The majority of these companies everybody works for pays a very bare minimum wage and then wonders, I wonder why our workers are quiet quitting. I wonder why these people aren't motivated. It must be this generation, right? Wrong. Don't think it's just a DoorDash thing. It's an every company thing. It just happens to be DoorDash that's doing this so shamelessly to where we gotta make noise and do things on our end to actually get something done. In reply to that comment, Gigdoctor wrote, first of all, I'm not an employee. Secondly, I do quite well. Just passing on some of the advice that helped me. Actually speaking, that's true. A lot of gig workers do really well based on working with customers that actually tip their drivers relatively decently. Even if you're not part of the large order catering program on DoorDash, which you absolutely should be, you're still probably making more than the last job you made, revenue speaking. Now, in terms of your expenses, that's been going up a lot recently, and unfortunately, that's been taking a cut into us between gas, between food, but overall, this is still better than most jobs will ever be. The Daily Dot previously covered a TikTok creator in which he explains he usually doesn't accept orders that pay less than $10. I actually made a video talking about this. I will leave it in the description. Feel free to check it out. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. At this point, with gas prices going up, OPEC Plus just decreased their oil production by 2 million barrels, and the fact that people are just not tipping, it's irresponsible for us to take any order that doesn't make sense for us anymore. If we can't make enough money from a single order to cover a gallon of gas, it's irresponsible to take that order. That's just a fact. It doesn't matter how many games DoorDash plays, doesn't matter how bad a customer doesn't actually want to tip, and it happens a lot. What matters is that you gotta look out for yourself at the end of the day. And you gotta be picky and choosy with the orders you accept, because quite honestly, if you're not picky and choosy with the orders you accept, you're gonna end up taking orders that aren't good for you overall. I'm glad that TikToks like this are going viral so often, because it's stuff like this that needs to be more widespread. Because in this TikTok, it wasn't just the driver saying that people should be tipping more. It's customers actually saying, yeah, people should be tipping more. I can't believe that people aren't tipping. That also said, I personally don't believe in convincing people to start tipping, because if you do that, you're going to have people who are reluctant to tipping to actually start tipping, and those people are also the people making horrible reviews, getting people contract violations because their food never arrived, even though they actually did arrive, rating people poorly for the littlest nonsense, and at the end of the day, people are more at risk of deactivation taking those orders than end up working with people who actually do the right thing. Stick with what you know works and make as much money in as little time as possible, because if anybody's gonna look out for your best interest, it's you. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!